Hey everyone, welcome in. 2025 has been a massive year for indie games, especially on Steam. We've seen some fresh ideas, genre-defining sequels, and we've had some truly memorable experiences. So today I'm counting down my top 10 indie games of the year. From brutal action to emotional storytelling, there's a little something here for everyone. So, with all of that said, let's dive in. Alright, and we'll start off with Achilles Survivor from Dark Point Games. Now, this is a top-down bullet hell roguelike set in a world of Greek mythology, and it moves really fast. You play as Achilles or other legendary souls trying to escape Tartarus, fighting off endless waves of mythological enemies. Now, the twist is the structure building mechanic. Mid-run, you can place traps, healing shrines, and summon allies to completely change how the battlefield plays out. Runs are short and frantic, with plenty of permanent upgrades to unlock between attempts. It's intense, tactical, and perfect for anyone who loves roguelikes with a bit more depth. Definitely check it out. At number 9, we've got The Altars from 11-Bit Studios. Now, this is the team behind This War of Mine and Frostpunk, and this one is a thoughtful sci-fi survival adventure about a single man stranded on a hostile planet who has to create alternate versions of himself in order to survive. Now, each one is shaped by different life decisions, and the game is kind of part base building, part narrative drama, and it constantly forces you to think about not just your resources, but also the relationships that you build between your altars. The story digs deep into identity, regret, and survival, and the pacing keeps you invested all the way through. Now, it should take around 15 to 20 hours to wrap up. This is a game that won't be for everyone, but if you enjoy the genre, it's definitely worth taking a look at. Alright, number 8 goes to Shape of Dreams, developed by Lizard Smoothie and published by NeoWiz. Now, this is a unique action roguelike that blends fast-paced hack-and-slash gameplay with co-op and MOBA-like team dynamics. You'll choose from 8 different travelers, each with distinct abilities, and tackle lucid dream modifiers that reshape the rules for every run. Whether you're playing solo or teaming up with friends, the game constantly throws new combinations at you, making every session feel just a little bit different. It's got a sharp combat system, loads of build variety, and that one more run kind of vibe that makes roguelikes so addictive. Difficulty will scale with the modifiers that you use. That means it can get intense really fast if you absolutely have to have that challenge. Either way though, definitely check out Shape of Dreams. At number 7 is Blueprints from Raw Fury. Now, this is a brilliant puzzle adventure game set in a mysterious manner that rearranges itself as you explore. Every time that you open a door, you'll choose the room's layout like you're drafting up a blueprint. It's part puzzle, part exploration, with a touch of mystery that slowly unravels the story behind the house and all of the secrets that it holds. Now, the room drafting mechanic is incredibly satisfying once it clicks and you kind of get the hang of it, and the daily reset system encourages experimentation and clever planning. It's a smart, well-paced game with around 15 to 20 hours of content, and of course there is plenty of replay value. If you haven't played this one yet, definitely add it to your radar. At number 6 is Yooka-Replaylee, which is the definitive remaster of the beloved 3D platformer, packed with all new features and a gorgeous visual overhaul. Join the charming buddy duo as they set out to stop Capital B's scheme to steal the world's books. You'll explore vibrant worlds filled with quirky characters, tricky platforming sections, and of course, a ton of collectibles. Now, this version introduces a proper world map, remixed and entirely new challenges, a fresh currency system, and expanded customization through Vendi's tonics. With smoother controls, refined camera options, and a fully orchestrated soundtrack from legendary composers, this is the absolute best way to experience the game, and definitely worth adding to your library. And at number 5 is Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, developed by the Game Kitchen and published by Dotemu. This is a brutally challenging side-scrolling action platformer that revives the classic Ninja Gaiden spirit with modern polish. Now, in this one, you get to swap between 2 protagonists, chain together insanely fluid combos, and rely on precision platforming in order to survive. The pixel art is gorgeous, the boss fights are relentless, and every death feels like a lesson learned. Now, it's a shorter game at around 6 hours to wrap up, but it is designed for mastery, and any fan of tough, skill-based action will eat this one up. At number 4, we have Hollow Knight Silksong, finally releasing from Team Cherry. This is the highly anticipated sequel to one of the best Metroidvanias that has ever been made. And the best part about it, it more than delivers on the promise of giving us an even better experience. In this one, you play as Hornet, exploring a vast new kingdom with agile combat, sprawling environments, and dozens of legendary bosses. The movement is faster and more fluid, the quest system is deeper, and the world is just packed with secrets to uncover. It's a massive adventure lasting around 25 to 30 hours, and with that trademark atmosphere and challenge that made the original so beloved, this one is sure to eat up a good chunk of your gaming time. Definitely pick this one up. Alright, and taking the third spot is Hades 2 from Supergiant Games. Now this is another sequel that takes everything that made the original great and then layers in new systems, witchcraft mechanics, familiars, expanded areas, and even richer storytelling. The combat is tight and fast, the art direction is stunning, and every run feels meaningful thanks to how the narrative evolves with your progress. The amount of build variety and experimentation here is just almost overwhelming. It's challenging but always fair and extremely addictive. Obviously, this is a must-play for any fan of the genre or if you enjoyed the first game. Alright, and our runner-up at number 2 is Cronos: The New Dawn, developed by Bloober Team. This is a third-person survival horror game, and it stands out for its eerie atmosphere and incredibly unique merging mechanic. What this means is if you don't burn enemies after defeating them or take out the extra bodies that are laying around, the enemies may end up fusing into stronger, more terrifying creatures. And if you let this happen too much, they can overrun you. It is really easy to die in this game. Now it blends retro futuristic environments with time shifting, puzzles, and some genuinely intense encounters. The tone is unsettling throughout with limited resources and smart enemy design that keeps you constantly on edge. If you're a fan of classic survival horror with a modern twist, this is a fantastic game and one of the best first entries into a brand new survival horror series that I've seen in many years. Bloober Team did a great job, and if they want to put out a new survival horror game every year or two, I will be there day one to pick it up. Well done, and bravo to the team over there. Thank you for an amazing game this year.
You are Ruffy, a bear that can copy and paste text.
I'm Darren. I've worked for a few years in the AAA gaming industry, but 3 years ago, I decided to take a different path. I wanted to create something truly special.
Alright, and finally, taking the number 1 spot, this is probably no surprise, but we have Clair Obscur, Expedition 33. This one was developed by Sandfall Interactive and published by Kepler Interactive. Now, this is a stunning turn-based RPG that blends cinematic real-time reactions into every encounter. You'll parry, dodge, and free aim in beautifully staged battles, all set in a surreal and gorgeous world. The story follows an expedition to stop a mysterious figure who's erasing lives from existence. The game is incredibly emotional and really fresh feeling, and it came out of nowhere. If this one doesn't win Game of the Year, it'll be a shame, but even more than that, if the soundtrack doesn't win some kind of award, it is one of the best soundtracks you will hear in any game in any genre from any year. With around 30 hours of gameplay, a deep combat system, this is a bold, unforgettable RPG that has earned its top spot this year, at least in my opinion. Alright folks, that's the list, my top 10 indie games of 2025 on Steam. From Achilles all the way to Clair Obscur, this year's lineup has been nothing short of incredible. But of course, I'm curious to know which one of these have you played, and what's your personal game of the year. Drop your picks down below in the comments, and if you had a good time, don't forget to like and subscribe, all that good stuff. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.